I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yay! What's up, everybody? Welcome to American Idol Season 18, Episode 4, AfterBuzz After Show. We are going to talk about Round 4 of auditions tonight. I'm your girl, Trina Dong, but I can't just talk to myself all night long. I have my wonderful co-host with me. To my direct left, an OG of American Idol watching, Miss Lisa Masi.
Okay, I may have watched From Justin to Kelly 10 times back in the day. Not recently.
No big deal.
Back in the day.
Yesterday.
Yes.
And to her left, we have the technical expert of all things music, Mr. Humza Khan.
Hey, nice to be back, guys.
What's up?
Happy to see these auditions. Let's talk about what we liked and didn't like, you know?
Lots. So we've got a lot to cover today. We're going to talk about why some people didn't make it. We're going to talk about who were some surprises, what shocked us. And of course, we'll cover who did the best. And not to mention, can't go without tearjerkers. Guys, we've got a special segment. We're going to talk all about the people that made us sob tonight. And then we got some news. We're going to talk about a former idol, Miss Katy Perry's pregnancy. We're going to cover a little bit. And then we're going to talk about predictions. What do we want to happen next week? Guys, let's start. Overall thoughts. Tell me.
Oh, this was a quite a unique episode in my opinion. I feel like that a lot of people were really good this time around. It was hard to kind of judge one over the other like we have been so far. I feel like it's been very even. People did make it through, but this time it seemed like almost everyone made it through.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. A lot more people went through. Did you notice, too, there were a lot more original songs this round, too? Almost every contestant had an original song. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. And the hosts were coaching more tonight than they
True.
usually do. They were giving people multiple chances to give it a little more, do what they thought that they would do best. And it ended up working, according to them.
Right.
For
It definitely did.
a lot of it.
It definitely did. And you can see people's just willingness to learn, I guess, with that little bit of testing. You know, if you throw one little bit out there and see who like picks it up and really takes it right then and there, they're easier to work with and you can work on them.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's interesting, too, because often on these shows, you'll find that someone gets a little uptight about someone telling them about how they are. So a little more reluctant to maybe listen.
True.
But let's probably listen to Lionel Richie, Katy Perry, and Luke Bryan, please.
Right.
And so that's been working. So I'm glad that everybody's been cooperating.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's get into a couple of people that didn't make it and why we think they didn't make it. So the first one, I have all the words in the world for, but I'm going to let you guys take it away. Mr. Lou, the surfer, that had no clue who any of the judges were.
Oh, no clue, Lou. He had a clue, man. I'm telling you, that to me, there's no way. There's no way. And he's living in Hawaii, of all places. It's still part of the U.S. You get the same channels there and things like that. Entertainment's pretty big. You still have social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on, man. I don't believe in Mr. Lou Dog. I don't believe it.
Lisa?
I know you don't like. I actually liked him. I know. It was a little strange that it was a little suspect that he didn't know who the judges were. I don't know if I buy that. But,
Right.
But I actually love Jack Johnson, and I thought it was really cool that he had that Jack Johnson acoustic surfer rock vibe. I actually wanted to see him go through. I really liked him.
See, it's interesting because you gave him a chance,
Yeah.
unlike some other people,
Yeah.
because I was too stuck on the shtick of what story he clearly developed and the show
Correct.
for this spot.
Right.
Just staring at him, and I was like, are you sure you haven't been a model previously? You look like a guy that's on the beach. You look like you're trying to be a guy that's on the beach.
Not an actual beach bum, right?
But he was dressing like a very stylish beach guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't look past it. I was just staring at him the whole time. So I blacked out and didn't listen to his voice very much, which is my bad.
No, good point. I don't think I remember the song either. Did he sing or was it the end of it?
He sang.
He sang an original, actually. See, I don't know. He's a talented guy. I was impressed by him. But
Lou.
I know.
Biggest
you can sing
fan.
for me. You can sing for me. Sorry.
Hit her up, Lou Dog.
Like, dog. And that's
Lou
another thing.
Dog.
The last name is just, I don't know if I believe it.
DWG.
I don't know if I believe the last name.
I know. Yeah.
I can imagine. I can see him sitting around with his friends, and they're like, "Oh, when you go up there, Luke Bryan, we don't know, we might not know much about him. Call him Justin Timberlake. What's a really funny way of saying it?" And I don't know. That made me laugh a little bit, though. I don't know if he should be a comedian or not, but that was funny.
Yeah, I agree. That did seem a little put on. But I wanted to hear another song. Like, so he had that Jack Johnson vibe, and I think maybe they would have given him another chance if he had done a second song. No?
Next time, Banana Pancakes for Lisa Masi, Blue Dog. It was, the Justin Timberlake comparison was funny, and I don't think that offensive and that off. Just the style of music and how long they've been in the game, all that stuff is wrong.
Yeah.
But in Katy Perry singing Chandelier, that's not a diss. That's just also wrong.
Right.
And not knowing Lionel Richie is just wrong. And so
that was a crime right there. When you didn't know Lionel Richie, I was done. I was like, no mas.
Yeah.
It was not believable. Anyway, moving on to Tavia. Tavia Smith, right?
Yeah.
So Tavia walks in just full of confidence, with her new best friend, that's her girl-tarist.
Girl-tarist, I
And
love
then
it.
what happened?
I can see them two having a show of their own. That'd be fun to watch. Maybe a YouTube show would be fun to watch.
Absolutely.
On American Idol, as a talent, as a singer, I think she kind of dropped the ball there. I can see why she thinks she can sing well. It's very someone that can hit notes, obviously. I just don't think she can carry a tune. And like she said, I think she was running out of breath or something like that. So
Luke said, were you running out of breath?
And she was just, all right, I can't. Obviously no training, but maybe with training could be pretty good.
I have to say, for the two of them only knowing each other for 48 hours, they put on a heck of a
They did.
performance.
Yep.
They were entertaining, you know?
Soulmates.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see this being the end of TNT. You
I don't know.
What they say,
Terry's a good vibe.
Right? Yeah.
Guys. I felt so sad. That's all I kept saying. I'm so sad because her vibe was so strong.
Yeah.
And I just really wanted that confidence to be not, I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be false, but I just wanted it to be so real. And I think everybody did. So fine, I want TNT to continue.
We wanted to see a little bit more of them down the line. And I get what you're saying. It's been
sure.
entertaining to see, but we'll have to just follow them on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah.
I did shed a tear at the end because when they hugged and she thanked her so much for just being with her,
I know.
got me. Because that's true. You make a really fast connection when you think you have to get something done.
True.
I must get this done and
True.
I need you for it. It's pretty cool.
And she came through and delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. They did the thing and they showed up on time. And
How many people show up to the show without their family members or friends or anyone there for them? And this person showed up 48 hours into it. Like that's strong personality.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, cool. Wow. I hope we see them somewhere. You're right.
Do too.
YouTubers. All right. So let's move on to some surprises, things that made us go, what's going on exactly? Our first one, Miss Cat and Mr. Space Cowboy.
Yeah.
So they came through. We see this a lot. We see these couples come on and either they're going to get torn apart because one is great and one is not, or one just clearly it's their time to shine. But that didn't happen to us this time. Let's talk about it.
I can do without the lovey-dovey stuff. Because their talent was, their vocals were really good. Their song singing was really good. And their performance, actually, while I was watching them and their lovey-dovey stuff, I actually thought they were going to sing to each other. And because they're so in love, they feel like they can really sing.
Yeah.
And they would give each other compliments and they would be delusional. But no, both of them, especially Kat, really, really, really sang well. And I liked it.
Yeah, I agree.
I felt like them doing that song, Shallow, I felt it made her voice shine more than his, obviously, because there were more parts for her to sing and really belt it out. They both sounded amazing together. They complemented each other well, but I think that song really made her shine and stand out.
See, I was a little worried for her when she first started because he sounded really good and smooth at the top. And then when she started, it wasn't like banger notes, so you can't really tell. I was like, oh, are we teetering on the whole he's going to make it?
Yep, but
and
she
she's
might
not. But then she slayed and it was great.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if he purposely chose that song for her because he loves her so much.
Right.
That it's like, I know it's going to make you sound great.
Right,
So if I'm going
right.
to do anything, I'm going to make sure you sound great. And in return, he sounded great as well.
Right. Yeah, I thought their voices complemented each other really well.
It was just cringe TV for me for like 5 minutes.
That's why I was watching Twilight all over again, like sitting through another Twilight movie. Like, no mas,
real.
please. I don't want to do.
Guys, I liked it.
Okay, we're being a little cynical.
I
Today
know,
we
what
are
the heck?
if you would have watched us watch it, I didn't even know where I was during that 5 minutes because I just wanted it to be good so badly and to get through the hand holding and stuff. But Katie was saying how I felt, and so I appreciated it. But then she also cried. So she was then not saying what I felt. But I do agree. They're both so
Katie
good.
was a good time this time around. Like,
She
I
was
enjoyed her.
such a good
She made
time
me
this
laugh a few
episode.
times.
Yeah. She was also very caring of the people, like what we were saying before, giving people extra chances this time around. She's very motherly.
I wonder if it has to do with something. Not
Interesting. We'll get to it
Yes.
in a bit. So moving on to Jimmy Levi, who is from a psychic family.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy Levi. He's the one I had described as his personality doesn't match his look and his look doesn't match his voice.
Complete surprise.
Right. Threw me off.
Yeah, I was thrown off in just hearing at the top all of the different types of psychics that these people were and what was about to go down.
It surprised me how well his mom called out the 3 judges and their using her psychic ability or whatever, but at the same time my mind said, does she Google them before she came in?
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
they're 3 of the most famous entertainers in the
Lou
world.
Dog didn't know them, so...
Yo, Lou Dog knew them, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, she could have done it prior, but let's try to believe that maybe not.
He really seemed like he was a little nervous, and maybe he doesn't believe too much in himself, but I liked his voice. And if he got a little bit of confidence, I would say, a little bit of training, his voice can do wonders. I think so. Did he actually make it past? Do you know that? Did he?
Yeah,
He did make it cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we'll see some surprises from him, and I think we'll be talking about him like, see, I knew he can do well with little coaching.
It was a little wild when they were like, "What's this?" Because he just innately connects. There's a connection with his brain and his thoughts with physically, and so I thought that was really interesting. That maybe he didn't even fully know he was doing it. Just a little twitch.
Maybe like a nervous twitch. It's when you're performing. I think when I do stand up, one thing I do is I put my right arm behind my back for some reason, and it makes no sense why. It's just
I put my
comfortable
left.
for me.
Didn't you watch me?
No,
I put my left behind my back when I just sit.
Gosh.
Yeah, there you
For
go. So,
literally no reason.
and it's
I'm
just a
not
habit,
doing
right?
anything.
So
I'm not nervous.
Yep.
I was just sitting there. Wow, interesting.
So.
We'll keep an eye on your right
I know.
arm. And
Yeah.
see you and Jimmy. But yes, super shocking. But he had a good voice, and so. But I think again we have a storyline that didn't fully let his voice shine, and I don't remember him singing.
What do you think, Lisa?
I do like when he switched songs. He started off with Chris Isaak, Wicked Game, which I love that song, but I didn't feel like, maybe like you were saying, because he was nervous at that point, but once he did the Tori Kelly song, then you really could hear his voice.
Yeah.
And I was thinking too, how awkward would it be? Because he said that 7 years ago, his mom saw him getting to this point in American Idol. How awkward would it be if he didn't make it through? You know,
Or she was like, or he doesn't. The process doesn't
Point.
go as what
you know?
she saw, and then suddenly there's a breakdown in the psychic family. And we don't
Yes.
know.
She's going to lose a lot of business if that happens. Then
Yeah, but it was the grandmother, right? That was in the book.
I believe so. I
yeah,
believe so.
What's the book
she was
called?
a #1 psychic. It said, and mom.
Yeah, I think the grandmother can tell the past, and the mom does the future stuff, and he sees
he's a
ghosts.
clairvoyant.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, no, she's a clairvoyant.
Yes.
He sees ghosts.
Yes.
Right.
Which I don't fully know what that means.
I don't know.
know.
I've watched enough Annabelle. I think I know what he's talking about. He's
Okay, I think that's a bit extreme for what we're talking about. So let's move on before it gets scary
There you go.
in here because I can't handle it. Next, for my biggest surprise of the night, I think Zach from West Virginia, one of our final performers who doesn't look the part. He sounds way too innocent, didn't know much about anything that he was about to do, was just doing it because he made a promise.
right.
And he said that you must follow through with your promises.
You guys, he was so raw. What did Luke say? He still had asphalt under his fingernails. Like,
Yeah.
how crazy is that? You
I
can't
know.
get much more raw and authentic than that. I mean, the dirt bike goggles, the gravel under your nails. I mean, that's
He said it was from working on the truck last night.
right. Yeah.
He kind of reminded me of the garbage man. I forget his name from the first auditions.
Douglas.
Yeah,
Yes,
where he's like very innocent, doesn't really know what's going on,
Yeah.
but able to bring out talent when it's needed, which was great. You know, that's the best part about it. It's gonna be my last Simon Cowell style of comment for the day, but next time he's on TV,
Down
I
it.
just want him to take a shower before he comes on board, clean the boots
stop.
off. His
He
bro-
probably did.
See,
We just
that's-
can't see
I
what's
thought
he's
that.
not done up.
No, I thought that, but then the rest of his family all had clean clothes on. So I don't know if it was just for the TV show or what, but I just I'll get you some new boots, man, and
All right.
come back strong.
I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
And also, even his guitar wasn't tuned. I thought it was really sweet.
That
was
Luke
funny.
tuned his guitar for him. I mean, I love that, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's so sweet. He can get polished as time goes on, but I loved that.
And Luke does a really good job of making them not feel stupid.
Yeah.
And coming like this one, he said, it took me 20 years to develop that ear.
Correct.
And so making everybody, this is practice. This is work. This
Yep.
is my, what is it? 100,000 hour. How many? Whatever it is. Like you put in that work, and that's how you become perfect at these things. And so I like how he's doing that. They're not narcissists up there, like maybe other shows. Or
it's
other
a really
judges
good
that
thing,
we're
though.
used to.
Yeah, when you're putting your talents on display, your art, it's really nerve-wracking, and to be criticized and then being made fun of, it can really like ruin someone's entire life. So I like the judges' approaches this season has been wonderful in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. I agree too. All right, let's move on to who some of the best people were. We've got a lot of them tonight, guys, just because there was a lot of good stuff, and honestly, as we've been talking about, a lot of people went through and they made more time for more people by cutting segments short in a way and trying to figure it out. So Michaela Phillips is the first one.
Right.
And she's actually my personal favorite of the whole thing. She's 17 years old, came through. They put her in a little package with another fella. Yep. And she came through and started singing like basically Ariana Grande.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. First thing I heard was Ariana Grande, but she definitely had her own style, and we can't really say that she sounded exactly like her or anything like that. Very good control on her voice.
Yeah.
Like, my God, she was hitting so many different notes in one song, and it was pleasant to hear. I liked it.
It's interesting you both heard Ariana Grande. For me, I love that song, Who's Loving You, and so many artists have covered it, but I heard that En Vogue rendition at the beginning, like back in the day. I'm like, oh, sing it, girl. I love that song. And
because it's that like dirty, that like
raspy.
You're just you're just kind of throwing it away.
Yep.
You're singing it how you sang.
Yeah,
really
soulful.
good.
Loved it.
That's a good choice for you. That's a good favorite.
And she's a young person too.
Yeah.
The young people are really impressing me this episode. The next one, Moshawn Wilson. Dang, we'll talk a little bit more about him later. But he came through with his own keyboard.
Yep.
And you don't know what's going to happen when something like that happens on this show. Yeah. What happened?
Man, his keyboard made me smile because that's the same keyboard I have. And the reason it made me smile is because I know it's not an expensive keyboard, right? It's one of those, I want something to play on, but I can't afford much, so he got one of those, which was great. It was, I liked everything he did. Everything about him was just clean energy, good person, you can tell. Very humble, very nice, and then beautiful voice. Very different than everything. I think he was the most unique one for tonight.
Cool.
I agree. Yeah. And he sang an original song, too.
Yep.
And it was a fantastic original song also. So, yeah, he was really amazing. Actually, Luke got choked up, and I don't know if we've seen him get choked up to this point.
It was beyond a choke.
Yeah,
he kept going and going with, he was me. He turned into me.
Yeah. Channeled his inner Trina.
Right. But he, what was I going to say about Moshawn? Oh, in his original song, I don't know what you call them because I don't know anything technical about music really, but when he was doing like his own callbacks, the kind of the hook, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
And so he was doing that himself, but in time, if you recorded a track, you would have done that on a separate track.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And so I thought it was impressive that he wasn't throwing himself off while trying to figure out where those things were going, especially in front of these important people.
Correct. And did they say his age? How old was he again? He's
23, something like
Definitely
that.
Definitely young, but he's such a mature way of speaking, mature way of holding himself up, and just overall he seemed a lot older to me. But 23 years old, man, good for you.
And blues, the blues.
Love it.
Love the blues, man. But love good blues.
Yeah, real blues.
Yes, yeah.
All right,
was some good blues.
Such good blues. We have another youngin', Ms. Olivia.
Yeah, youngin'.
She sings Tori Kelly. Tori Kelly has been making a show on American Idol of her own with all these people auditioning with her songs. She was once a contestant on Idol. She's amazing. And Olivia has given her a run for her money.
Yeah,
on
Diamond
this
in the
song.
rough. Diamond in the rough. Like, definitely very talented. Yeah. And if some right person gets their hands on her, she's going to be big. We're going to see her for the rest of our lives, I'm sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, Katie actually compared her to a young Brandy when Brandy first came out. I'm like, gosh, she does look like that. She has that youthful energy, that spirit, that innocence. Definitely saw a young Brandy in her.
That voice, though, that is a different level of a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Where in the world?
Yeah, she's great control on her voice, too. That's the other part. For 16, like, so much good control. I can only imagine. She's going to be top 10, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see her towards the end of this season and everything, if not one of the finalists, you know. I feel like she's going to have the most growth out of everybody, and she's going to probably find herself within this competition. And that's going to be great to see. Her finding herself and then taking that forward.
And with some
absolutely.
lessons too, some vocal training.
Mm-hmm.
Because I doubt there's much training at all in that. And so if she tightens stuff up,
Right.
it's over. Oh, and let's not forget, her dance team opened up her audition.
Yeah.
So cool. So
And
cool.
they were so much more choked up than she was.
I
Like they were
know.
like nervous for her, and I saw them like fanning out in the crowd. That was great to see.
Yeah. To have that support like that, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And they were good. They
Oh.
were really good.
So good. Well, when
I
you
know.
watch your friend,
Right.
like that's just my friend. I go to high school with
Yeah.
her, and then suddenly people are saying that she's top 10.
Yep.
Pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah.
We have Ren, Miss Ren.
Oh, Ren was beautiful. Ren's vocals were beautiful.
Such a good song.
Yeah, I liked her mom forcing her to be there. You know,
100%.
it feels nice, I guess, when you heard her story go from such a person in your life that keeps you from everything to another person who obviously has been in her life for a while, but opens doors for you and takes you there and says, this is what the world really is. And I like the fact that even at this age now, 26, she might feel like she might be too old for this now, but she's at a great age, and I feel like she can really take this somewhere for herself, and she owes it to herself to take it somewhere.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she had an excellent song choice with Dancing on My Own by Robin. Like, you could just feel that pain, you know, after being in that toxic relationship for so long. She definitely channeled that energy for this song, and it came across so beautifully. Perfect song choice. And I love that her mom was the one that said, let's go on a road trip.
Yep.
You need to audition for this. Like, her mom's her bestie. I love that. I love that so
And as
much.
Beyonce says, best revenge is to get your paper. So she needs to get that paper
Get
and get
that-
that revenge.
Money.
Yeah.
Honey.
Yes.
For real. She's so good. And you felt everything. She could have been half that good, and I still would have been like, I feel you, girl.
Yep.
You're killing it, and you're doing it for yourself, which was what this whole thing's for.
Right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Faith with Lady Marmalade.
Yeah.
And so she sang a couple of versions of it. This is one of those opportunities where Katie took to direct a little bit, try to get you to sing a little bit differently for maybe more what they want versus what you kind of have stuck in your head of what's going to be there.
Right.
What'd you guys think of Faith?
I loved her.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I
We've been off. We've been off
I
today.
know. I loved her. I love that song. I loved her confidence. I thought she was super soulful. Katie said she has the it factor, a lot of potential. I see that too. I would love to see more for her, and I think that was a great song choice for her. I had chills while she was singing.
I guarantee.
I really liked it. Yeah. I did. I know.
Continue.
I guarantee. No, I guarantee this. I guarantee she sings that song a lot at home.
Yeah.
And I guarantee she nails it every time she sings it at home. I think the only reason she was singing the way she was because she was in front of these judges. I know it's not an
Yeah.
excuse because a lot of people do it, but I mean, there's something to your nervousness, shortness of breath, and things like that, and that's why I feel like she was quick with her each verse
Doing
that
the
she was singing.
choppiness?
Right, the
Yeah.
choppiness. I do think that if she was a little bit less nervous and calm and really focused, she would have hit it out the park. I just think that the nerves got the best of her.
Yeah, 100%. I also think she handled the way that Katie was directing her and giving her more advice way better than I would have,
Right.
say, in the room, because she kept going for more.
Right.
Right.
Do it this way. Do it this way. It's like an acting audition.
Yeah.
Do it this way. Do this way. Okay.
Yep.
And then there was no meltdown. There was no
No
oh,
frustration.
she knew she could do it that way. She knew she could take direction and keep changing up. And I think that is one of the reasons why they moved forward, because she was able to change every time
Right.
what was asked of her. So whether or not it was the greatest audition in the world,
Yep.
or if it was, I
was
think
good.
that
It wasn't bad. It was
that
good.
makes potential
Jesus.
much stronger
Right,
when you
right.
know that they're willing to put in the work. Because even
Yeah.
after she was like, that was tough stuff, because that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Kate's like, can you not? Can you not?
Yep.
And you're like, but that's what I do.
Yeah, it's hard to change your habits that quickly,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
not to get frustrated either. I can definitely see that. So kudos to her for showing that she's coachable.
Yeah,
Yes, and
absolutely.
that is a hard song. Go, girl, you
Yeah.
did well. Like, I'm a fan.
Yeah, she changed my mind. Okay, I thought she was
Right?
good too.
Okay, well, you changed his mind. One last one. We have Miss Sophia Wackerman at the moment.
No,
Could
Sophia
be
Starr.
Sophia Starr
Mm-hmm.
later, depending on decisions that are made. She killed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
She got on the piano all by herself. She had confidence beyond her years, I thought.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you guys think?
I felt for her on her mom's story. That's sad and hard to go through. And I can tell she went out of her way to make sure she didn't let that affect her for this audition. She kept it as short as possible as she could, just explain like, yeah, that's my story, but I don't want to talk about it right now, which is wonderful. And then she killed it. She killed it. Her audition was wonderful. Her voice was amazing. I think she hit it out the park.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Such a powerful voice. I think it was amazing. She was doing it for her mom. It just, what a great song for her. Lionel thinks she's going to be top 10. I totally agree. I think she could go all the way.
I could see. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. No, I was just gonna say too that like Katie.
Fight.
I was like, is she done? No.
Katie and Lionel commented on how she has an instant identity.
Yeah.
You hear her, you hear her singing, you hear her on the piano, and you know it's her. She's unmistakable. So.
Nice personality too. Like
Absolutely.
I liked her personality overall. It's one of my really close friends. His mom also had cancer recently, and it was 3 years. I guess she battled with it, and she beat it, which was great. But I know that when it happened. For those 3 years, I almost never heard from him because he was so involved with her and what was going on. So it just took his life away for that moment. For her to be so young and to deal with that, I can only imagine how much she put aside in her teen years and didn't get to go do things. And I hope that this journey is going to help her get that back and prove that she can still do something with her life and move forward with it.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. I totally agree. 16 when it happened, and she's 20 now.
Correct.
Yeah, I think to your point about how she didn't want to make the whole thing about her life story.
Correct.
She wanted it to be here and now. There are, of course, times where that works for us and what doesn't work for us as far as viewers are concerned. But the way that this worked, it was very much she knew that she was going to make it.
Yeah.
And she just wanted to get that out, and then we can talk more about my mom.
Right. Probably start a fundraiser or something,
100%. I thought that was not dissing the other way that this can be done, because sometimes you just want to spill the whole thing because you're in front of these heroes.
Right.
So yeah, we'll talk about her more perhaps next when we get into our special segment.
Yes, tear jerkers, right?
Tear jerkers.
This was a unique episode for me because I feel like almost everyone that had a story that could have had us crying. I guess they listened to our podcast and didn't want us crying anymore, right? But they all kind of kept it in. They kept it more reserved. They didn't want it to be overshadowing their talents and stuff, and I really respected that. So, what did you think, Trina? Who was your biggest? I know who yours was. Go ahead and tell the people who yours.
Could you tell because I was sobbing uncontrollably?
I saw you crying, yes.
I saw you crying. No, it was a lot.
I heard it. I saw it. I felt it.
Moshan.
Yes.
I mean, whoa.
Right.
That's a lot of life to live at age 23, we're talking, right?
Yeah.
He said his dad dealt with bipolar and schizophrenia, and so there was mental health from a father when you're a child that you probably do not understand, and then drug abuse. But of course, to find your father in an overdose, or to find anyone, I would say that is a top 5 biggest fear for anyone.
Yeah.
And to be a young person, I just could not
fathom.
No, I could not think about it other than somebody take care of this person who, like he said, he didn't have siblings, he was alone, and he didn't have anyone to show him right, wrong, good, bad.
Right.
And so for him to come to the show and to have curated his own sound, and he wrote that song.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people know how hard it is to write a song. Sometimes it takes 10 years to write one verse of a song. And this person has written a song with no background, no anything, and all of these things have been through. That is just a gift. And so for him to take it to that Casio and sing like he sang, there was nothing that was going to keep me from sobbing my way through because he's incredible.
He really was. And it's hard enough to deal with someone with schizophrenia and bipolarness. Most times when that happens to a family member, they're exit out of your life. And you may not see them for years on end, especially if they're dealing with drugs. And it makes it a little easier. But what makes it difficult is when they're in and out of your life and they're constantly there and you're having to watch and deal with it. Good news is he is a father, though. He has a 3-year-old. And now, even though, and I can already tell, even though he hasn't had a father figure there to show him how to do it, he's going to be a great father.
Oh, absolutely.
Because everything he was missing, he's going to give to that daughter. And then in turn, he might be a father to himself. Who knows? But that little girl's going to have a great life.
100%.
And kind of to both your points, his attitude was amazing. So positive. When they're like, do you need a minute? He's like, no, let's do this. I'm ready. I've been waiting for this. His attitude is incredible.
Taught me a thing or two, definitely.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, absolutely. Moshan, excellent choice. Excellent choice. Ren Patrick really got me the fact that her mom is her best friend.
Yeah.
My mom is my best friend.
Me too.
And I love you, Mom. I think it's so cool that her mom said, let's hop in a car, let's go for this road trip. You know, it broke my heart when she said when she was in this toxic relationship that her boyfriend, she had to screen her mom's calls because her boyfriend didn't like her mom. Like, I can't imagine in that situation. Bad. You can't get those years back that she didn't take her mom's calls. So thank goodness, you know, her mom is around still, and now they can, you know, be back together and work on their relationship. And that just got to me. It's making up for lost time with her and her mom. And you actually mentioned this this quote. You said Beyonce's version, and Lionel, you know, one-liner Lionel's lesson.
Seriously.
Lionel's lesson. I like it.
Lionel had a lesson again tonight. He said the best form of revenge is success. Kind of what you said, what Beyonce said. So another great message from Lionel Richie. We love you, and
and get that money.
That money. You know, there was a lot of moms. There was a lot of moms on this episode. Katie's pregnant, almost about to become a mom. Moshan talked about his daughter. I'm only certain that it's because today is International Women's Day, right?
Yeah.
So happy International Women's Day, everybody! Happy International Women's Day.
Oh
my God, coming through. No, but that's wonderful that you said that. And her mom's her biggest supporter, and I can relate because like I know I love professional wrestling. I always have, and it's not. I don't come off as a person that may go after it or whatever. But since a kid, like I remember my mom. I told her I wanted to be Kane for Halloween once. There's no costume, so she sat for 4 days and she stitched it and sewed it together for me. And I was the coolest kid on the block for one Halloween. Thank you, Mom. My tearjerker would have to be Sophia Starr.
Yeah.
And it's because again, the mom stories are wonderful and everything, but she lost her mom, and I have 3 sisters, so. If you know the closeness, I'm sure you two do, of women with their moms, like you have to have your mom in your life to grow up to be, not have to, but it's like a very important part of it, right?
Yeah.
So for her to be as beautiful of a person as she is, Sophia Starr, and not have her mom around, I hope she makes her proud and continues this same like humble character and moves forward from there, because I felt everything she was going through, but she didn't show any of it. Yeah. You know, so kudos to you, Sophia.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, with that, let's get into some news.
Yes.
Mommy news, even.
I know. I know. Teasing that. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, sorry.
I know. Well, first, a little like some sad news, but American Idol Season 5 winner Taylor Hicks, and he's also a Nashville resident, took to Twitter on Tuesday following the devastating tornado that ripped through Tennessee. Taylor shared with fans that he was okay, but he was praying for those who were seriously affected by the tragic event. To date, 25 people have actually lost their lives due to this horrific storm. Hicks also recounted his ordeal in an interview with People magazine. He described how he could feel the whole house shaking, got into a crawl space, and held on for dear life. Can you imagine? We are so glad that Taylor's okay, and our thoughts and hearts are with those who have been affected by this disaster. But in some happier news, what we've been kind of teasing all night, Katy Perry revealed on Wednesday that she's expecting her first child with fiancé Orlando Bloom. She announced her pregnancy through her new music video, Never Worn White. Did you see it? Yes. I was thinking, did you cry?
Yes.
I was thinking about you. I was like, Trina,
did I cry?
No, I cried during it, so I was sure you were. After she announced it on the music video, she then confirmed it on Instagram Live. Katy teased that there's going to be a lot happening this summer, most likely the baby's birth, a new album, and a potential new date for their wedding. Orlando is already a father to his son Flynn, who he shares with ex-wife Miranda Kerr. Miranda gave her blessings to Orlando and Katy on social media after the video dropped. And meanwhile, Katy's ex-husband Russell Brand didn't directly address the pregnancy, but he did post a video on Instagram that day entitled "How I Got Over Heartbreak." Don't know if one thing has anything to do with the other, but kind of interesting timing, you know?
But usually does.
Right? Yeah.
All right, guys, that is all the time that we have for tonight's episode of American Idol After Show. Y'all, where can we find you on the internet? Tell us.
You can find me on Instagram at Lisa M. Masi. Lisa, double M's, A-S-I.
Yep, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, Humza, Humza_mania, M-A-N-I-A, on both Instagram and Twitter.
Beautiful. And y'all can find me at Hey Trina Dong on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please join us next week where we have double episodes. Oh, wait, no. The week after that, we have double episodes. Just kidding. Next week for episode 5.
Yes.
Final
The
audition.
Yes.
Final audition.
Thank you guys. We'll see you
Thank you.
soon.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.